Welcome to this lecture about how to use the online lecture tools that I provide in Canvas. The first thing to consider is, does my class have a password quiz? Currently, I only have them in my contracts class. So if you are in that class, you definitely need to be paying attention to password quiz. You'll typically, if I have a password quiz, it'll be right at the very beginning of each module. And you can see here I'm in the contracts class. Right here you can see course contracts, and I go to this module right here and it says not for a grade password quiz for chapter 1. I click on this and I review the quiz questions. I can look at this. I'm not going to submit. I'm just going to jot down these questions. So when I'm watching the video, I will be on the lookout for example, here in chapter 1, the instructor explains that the common law puts great emphasis on fairness, predictability, and evolution. In the next slide, she adds a consistency is, and she provides a symbol. So you'll type that answer here. So I'm looking for this information. So probably what I would do is I would cut and paste this, or copy and paste it into some document that I'm working on. And so as the lecture goes forward, I'll be looking for this particular answer, and obviously I would do this for the second question as well. The next issue that I'll need to think about is whether I plan on watching the lecture via Canvas or directly from YouTube. All of my standard lectures are going to be available on Canvas. The only ones that aren't available is that if I have an answer key option, I don't make those available through YouTube. So here I can just click on this link right here and it'll take me right into the lecture. I can hit this button and watch it. Even though it says YouTube, I'm watching it through Canvas. If I want to watch closed captioning, I hit on the closed caption button, and it's going to have, and so if you want to look at the closed captioning, you're welcome to just click on the CC right down here. But let's say that you are in a place where either Canvas is acting up or it's just easier to go directly to YouTube. You can go to YouTube here, and what you'll do is you'll type in the course. In this example, we're doing a contracts course, so I have LGLA 1351, put a space between the letters and the numbers, and then just do the chapter here. This is chapter 1, do a search, and you'll see typically it'll be the first item in the list. And you can see there's actually 2 lectures for chapter 1, but it's possible it'll be farther down the list. Obviously you're looking for Cynthia Groover. So here we click on this, and again you can see I already have it activated. Welcome to this presentation. Again, if you don't want the closed captioning, you can choose that either way. They're the same content, whichever way you find easier to access it. But before you actually start it, you're going to want to have your note-taking supplies ready. My philosophy is work smarter, not harder. Taking careful notes during that first go-through when you're listening to the lecture means that you won't have to listen to the lecture a second or a third time. If you listen to it kind of halfway listening, you're doing other things, maybe you're making dinner or you're driving or something like that, you're not going to be able to capture all the information, and you won't have any notes to review, even if you did capture all the information. So you're going to want to have your note-taking supplies handy, and you're going to want to regularly pause to review that information. Because during the lecture time, I don't pause so that, as I might during class, to allow you to write things down. So just keep that in mind. There isn't the expectation that you'll start, for example, the time is actually 1 hour and 17 minutes. But you're not going to start and watch it 1 hour and 17 minutes back to back. You're going to pause, several times over the course of the time to best use your time. Oops, sorry, I'm on the wrong PowerPoint. And then you're also going to want to have the PowerPoint or the study guide available. Sometimes I have something called a PowerPoint, sometimes I have something called a study guide, sometimes I have both available. In this particular class, I give the PowerPoint. But if you have something in your class called a study guide, typically it's the same thing as the PowerPoint. I've just put it into typically a Word document. The PowerPoint that you'll see here will be very similar to the PowerPoint that's posted. And I may have made some tweaks, corrected some typos, that type of thing, but this will be largely the same as the one here. A good approach is to download the PowerPoint and to take notes on it. So as I'm talking, perhaps instead of having separate note-taking things, I might, let's say there's something that the lecture covers in this one. Well, I might want to underline something or write maybe the person who begins the lawsuit. The person who is being sued. So I can add additional content. You might want to put this in italics or in a different color so you can distinguish between what you've added and was already there. Alternatively, you could print this out and then just write in the margins if you would like. And you can print it out as a 2 slides a page, 3 slides a page, 6, 9, whatever makes sense for you. If you happen to be having a class that has a password quiz, keep remembering that you're going to have to answer these questions. Here you can see that you're looking for something that's consistency as, and in here I talk about something that's called the blank shell series. So be sure to have those in your recollection so that you can catch it as it goes forward, and then you would jot it down here when the answer came available. Let's say the answer here is apple, and this is, banana. Well, I have the answer, so whenever I get around to taking the password quiz, I've got it handy here. You may want to listen to the lecture more than once. And you're welcome to do so. You can change the playback speed if you would like to listen at a different speed. Since for the most part my lectures are audio focused, you can listen to it while you're driving the car. I wouldn't do that the first time you're listening to it, but maybe the second time, or making dinner or taking a shower or whatever. A second go through, especially as you're preparing for the midterm and the final exam, it can refresh you on the material a little bit better. And so that's something to consider doing. And you can maybe even listen to it at quicker than usual, faster than average speed. I'd like to also remind you that I didn't write the textbook, but I do write my own test questions in almost all of my classes. And in classes where I don't write my own test questions, I very much base my PowerPoint and my lecture off of the test questions. So if there's a place you want to skimp in terms of your studying, don't let it be the PowerPoints and the lectures. I hope that you have the time to read the textbook, but that is the optional one. The lectures and the PowerPoint really aren't optional. You aren't prepared for the final or the midterm until you've watched the lecture and the PowerPoint. You won't do well on them. So those are just some things to keep in mind. These are the crucial resources. I hope that this information has been helpful. If you have any questions about the material, as always, please feel free to contact me. I look forward to hearing from you. In any case, I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care.